It is the WrestleMania Hangover edition here of Chair Shot Reality on WrestlingInc.com. Katie Arquette, Justin LaBar, Josh Osborne will be joining us from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. No, Juice Springsteen, he just could not make it back and be vertical from New Orleans, the city that truly does not sleep when WrestleMania is there. A wonderful week. I got to first say a big thanks to all the people we owe thank you to. Spirits on Bourbon, our WrestleMania Day party. Huge success. We hit the fire code. Turning people away. Maximum capacity. Tommy Dreamer, Mr. Anderson, Noelle Foley, all there. Fun time. Thanks to Ticket King for helping make that event possible. Again, Spirits on Bourbon. All of our friends and family and crew that made it, that did what they had to do to make it successful. Make sure that we got out of there all in one piece. Katie, we expect you to be with us in New York City next year.
Yes, definitely. I would love to.
Queen of the Silver Screen, it was the big screen, is the big stage that is WrestleMania. Over 70,000 people in the Superdome. 7-hour epic event. You were watching from home. Did you make it? Did you stay awake for the whole thing?
Yes, I stayed awake for the whole thing.
Power to you.
I was starting to doze off. I won't lie, but a couple more shots of alcohol and I was awake.
It's so weird to, we're getting all of it for the same price of $9.99 on the WWE Network or whatever ticket price you pay. You're getting all of it no matter that ticket price. It feels weird to complain about, okay, you're giving me too much, but I do think there's a point where we have to, cut it off a little bit.
Yeah, there's a line. They should have, just tightened it up just a little bit towards the end, but,
If every movie was the director's cut of the movie, that would be a problem. We can't have, endless scenes. We need some...
I should have been there with my clapper. Cut,
that
we're done.
That would have been great.
Done.
That was needed. All right, well, within the 7-hour epic event, Katie, give me your highlight or highlights of WrestleMania.
Okay, so I enjoyed the entire thing. Very entertaining from start to finish. Well, finished a little bit, but we can go into that a little bit later. But the match that I enjoyed the most, which is what I was talking about the last couple weeks, was the tag match between Triple H and Stephanie versus Kurt Angle and Ronda. It was great. It definitely surprised a lot of people because it was Ronda's first debut, especially at WrestleMania.
She had a lot of spots, a lot of in-ring time.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I liked how Kurt Angle and Triple H they were the filler.
Sure.
They wanted Stephanie and Ronda, which is why they started out, and you saw the temptation. It's like, oh, and then Ronda, as soon as she was tagged in, attacked Stephanie, and it was fantastic.
And even prior to the tags, great job by Stephanie, the cutoffs, pulling her off the apron. I mean, they really made it feel special. And I kind of figured, okay, Kurt and Triple H would start it, and they would build to Ronda and Stephanie. But what was the big surprise was I thought, okay, once we get Stephanie and Ronda, it's going to be pretty tight and short. And that was not it. I mean, there was a lot more to this. Here's a fun fact for you. This match was the longest match bell to bell the whole night.
Really?
It beat out Brock and Roman, I believe, by a matter of seconds. But it was the longest match. I certainly did not predict that, considering you have one person who's an executive who's in a suit who's not wrestled all year round. Not to say he's not in shape. You have another guy who's having his first WrestleMania match in over a decade. You have a female who's coming from MMA making her debut in the ring, and you have another woman who's an executive who is not a trained
who's not a wrestler at all.
But they went the longest, and it was by far probably the most bell-to-bell entertaining.
Oh, most definitely. It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
One thing I was really happy, too, about this match was not only did we get the Ronda beating up Triple H moment and Triple H kind of belittling her, pushes the referee aside, say, I can take you. But I love the way the finish was executed, because I was worried. We've kind of figured, based upon what we had seen with Ronda in the past and her WWE cameos, that they would go with the armbar as a finisher for her. And, an armbar in legitimate MMA it's meant to be done very quick.
Right.
You can almost blink and miss it. I'm glad that it seems, from what we saw at Mania and then what we saw on Raw the next night, that I like how Ronda, she had it on. Stephanie was trying to block it, trying to hold it. I like how they really built to Ronda rearing back and wrenching it, so you made sure you did not miss it. I like that a lot.
And as soon as she wrenched it, Stephanie instantly started tapping. There was no hesitation.
Yes.
There was no...
As it should be.
Exactly. So I think that was pretty cool how they mixed it a little bit. So
my highlights, I have two, for two odd reasons. One, maybe a more obvious highlight, a more popular highlight was Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles. The match lived up, I think, to the hype, and I also had a nice swerve. I was not expecting... I picked AJ to win this. So I was not surprised that AJ Styles walked out still champion, but I was surprised that we got the Nakamura character, the heel turn, which he did even better on SmackDown. I love the cockiness and the sarcasm, and I speak no English. I trying to, when they're asking him why he did what he did. So I thought the heel turn was a great thing. Everybody had so much focus on this being the dream match. I interviewed AJ Styles a few days prior to Mania and talked about all the pressure of this being a dream match, and that totally kind of came out of nowhere. So that's one for me, but maybe a less obvious one was still The Undertaker versus John Cena. We got the match. We knew we were going to get a match. You don't waste that much TV time and not get the people a match. But because they never made it official, because it was kind of like this constant tease,
right,
it didn't disappoint me when it was less than 3 minutes. It was like a bonus match. Now, in hindsight, had they made this big marquee match with a graphic for the last month, if we would only got that, that would have been a disappointment, I think.
I completely agree, and I love that this just shows how professional John Cena is because he literally jobbed to The Undertaker.
Absolutely.
100%. Less than 4 or 5 minutes.
It's
not
less than 3.
Even. Yeah,
less than 3.
Less than 3 minutes. And yeah, the build-up, the tension with it all. It's like, is he going to show? Is he not going to show? Right. And then the ref running out.
And they threaded that perfectly. Having Cena earlier in the night in the crowd, the ref
he had
comes,
a beer.
the ref whispers something, so you assume it's what he whispers, so he runs to the back, comes back out, lights go out, Elias pops up. Oh, were you expecting someone else?
Yeah.
Really well done. So while the match was less than 3 minutes, they got more out of it. Yeah, I mean, we talked about Rousey's match being the longest. Who would have thought Undertaker versus Cena would be the shortest?
Right.
I mean, if John Cena is able to be beat in that time, then it's above nobody to be able to, just take all the offense that the Undertaker wants to give you.
Undertaker is truly unbeatable at WrestleMania, except one time.
And this is the only bad thing about the fact that they did not have this match official to build to is when I went back and watched it again the next day on commentaries, I love what Michael Cole was saying, which is true, and I didn't really think about it. This is the 2 most winningest superstars at WrestleMania ever.
Yeah.
But when you stop and think about it, because of the amount of, well, obviously we know Taker with his history and the streak and everything. But then you think about Cena and the amount of Mania Cena's been at and the success that he's had at Mania, the 2 most winningest guys. We saw it in the ring, and one of those most winningest guys got demolished in like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So Undertaker, it's not his last match because he's going to be at the Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia in a casket match. So it's not his last match, but if it's his last Mania match, he goes out on top. We got plenty more this weekend on the Binge Watch playlist. Josh Eisenberg is going to join us as we're going to talk about Bobby Lashley returning. We're going to talk about Carmella cashing in. We're going to talk about all the call-ups that came up from NXT, as well as the Superstar Shakeup this week. Who needs to be moved the most in a shakeup? We'll talk about it all. Chair Shot Reality on Wrestling Inc.